Alright, today talking about the third part and final part of Hidden in the Rubble. And if I can remember right, I think we were supposed to talk about what we see God as. I might have that wrong, but I think that's what we were supposed to do. Anyway, final part of the book, Straub is pretty much debriefing on life after the earthquake and just kind of talks about pretty much the experiences throughout everything. And I like this book because at times it seems like he has the answers, but there's also times where he kind of doesn't know, and I think that's really the very good human element in this book. I said in my book review I like it because it almost reads as a blog, because the whole thing is just a first-hand account, but instead of talking about like selfies and like the best coffee at Starbucks, it's actually talking about meaningful things. I was really moved by what he says on page 148, where he says God's all-inclusive love and mercy. Still, I wonder what my story and the poverty-stricken places I've seen mean for me personally. How can I even begin to fix the poverty I see around me when I do not truly see the poverty within me? The more I see of life, the fewer answers that I have. It is all such an unfathomable mystery. Life, death, love, hatred, joy, sadness, health, sickness, prosperity, poverty, laughter, and suffering. Yet God through Christ is in all of it, except hatred, of course. It is all part of the magnificent complexity of the mystery of creation. I really, really like that quote, because of course you always feel like, you know, the more I do in life, the more I'm gonna know about what everything means. But he pretty much just comes out and is like, you know what, I've done a lot, I've seen a lot, and I'm just as confused as ever. And I think especially going through an experience like he did in this book, I would probably feel the same way. Really enjoyed this book though. As far as talking about what we have seen God as, growing up, you know, in church they always told you to fear God, and I didn't know what that meant. So I thought that meant we were genuinely supposed to be sort of afraid of him. So like growing up, I thought he was like the really nice dad, but at any moment if you got like the 3 strikes, he was gonna get really mad and you were gonna get sick or something. Of course that was me being like 5 years old. But the more that I read and the more that I've, I guess, found out through all the years of going to church and all that stuff, I find God less of an angry God, but more of a very personal one that I think would possibly be more human than a lot of churches and sects would believe you, or would lead you to believe. Because I think in the Old Testament, especially like in the books of the former prophets, God, I mean, there's times when he seems like he's going through anguish. There's times when he seems sad. There's times that he's even regretted things, like making Saul the king. And I find comfort in that. I find comfort the more human elements that you can find in things. So that's what I see him as. And that's it.